Almost every community on Roblox has its fair share of toxicity, including the Obby community. There's always a person or group that just disagrees or hates you and your opinion, even if you try to be as nice as possible. But the Obbyist we're gonna talk about in this video was the most likable Obbyist with almost no haters. We're going to cover his rise to popularity and how he completely disappeared from the obbying community. Mr. Nibbles created his YouTube channel in December of 2014. Similarly to other content creators, for the first 3 years of his channel's existence, he didn't post any content whatsoever. Mr. Nibbles had a huge interest in games, especially a game called Geometry Dash, which is a music platforming game that requires insane reaction to beat difficult levels. On July 1st of 2017, Mr. Nibbles posted his first YouTube video named Geometry Dash Saturn 5 by Nazgub, which is a medium demon difficulty. Mr. Nibbles' skill from Geometry Dash will later correlate in Roblox obbying to a massive scale. In the description of this video, he stated that Mr. Nibbles is going to be a Geometry Dash channel, which will be proven wrong in a couple of years. After a couple months of posting Geometry Dash completions with no success, Mr. Nibbles slowly started to get bored of the game and tried something else. The first video that wasn't Geometry Dash on his channel was a Terraria Calamity Mod gameplay video, which he posted nearing the end of 2017. Even though this video didn't do well, it was clear to see that Mr. Nibbles was generally a chill and laid-back guy, and that he didn't really care about views or subscribers. He just played what he liked. And then Mr. Nibbles stopped uploading. A month passed, no upload. A year passed, no upload. Only after almost exactly 2 years, Mr. Nibbles returned to content creation. This time, he had taken interest in Roblox obbies. Not just any easy and bland obbies though. Mr. Nibbles had started playing difficult obbies that test the limits of Roblox, like an obby created in September of 2019 called the Possible Obby. This obby was an instant hit. It was one of the first unique obbies that progressed in difficulty as the levels went, where at the end of the game a final level awaited you, which was known to be one of the hardest on Roblox. Mr. Nibbles decided to take on the challenge to beat the Impossible Obby and wanted to document his way through it. On December 27th, 2019, Mr. Nibbles uploaded completion of the first level of the Impossible Obby. Surprisingly, this video blew up, having almost 20,000 views now. Mr. Nibbles had perfectly timed when he wanted to start posting the completion of this obby. At the time, the Impossible Obby was getting almost 1,000 players at a time, which meant it was one of the most popular obbies on the site. Obviously, right behind Tower of Hell. People searched for completions of these levels to learn how to do them, and this absolutely blew up Mr. Nibbles' channel. With the obby having 0 victors at the time, viewers wanted to see if Mr. Nibbles could actually become the first person to beat the Impossible Obby. After almost 2 weeks of grinding the Impossible Obby, everyone was waiting for Nibbles to finally post the final level completion and be the first person to conquer it. And then, on January 6th of 2020, Mr. Nibbles posted this. He had done it. Mr. Nibbles beat the Impossible Obby and was awarded the winner badge and a statue in the lobby of the game. In the description of this completion, Nibbles mentioned an obbyist called Khan 2005, who will be important later in this story. Today, this completion has over 800,000 views on YouTube and this was Mr. Nibbles' biggest series that brought him thousands of new loyal viewers. The Tower of Hell, a 150 stage tower with an unimaginable amount of jumps. The Tower of Hell is a game made by the same developers who created Tower of Hell. But in this version, almost every floor in the original game is all put into one and made into a single massive tower. Mr. Nibbles decided his next challenge was this, but not quite beating it. Mr. Nibbles decided that he was gonna speedrun the Tower of Hell. I mean, obviously he had the skill for it since he was able to beat the Possible Obby. So, on January 15th, 2020, Mr. Nibbles posted his first speedrun of the Tower of Hell on YouTube. Little did he know, this speedrun would garner over 3 million views. In the description stating, "I'm coming for you, Pinkleaf," which was a popular Tower of Hell YouTuber who held the record for the Tower of Hell at the time, at a time of 37 minutes and 11 seconds. Nibbles was only 2 minutes short of the record, which he would make up for only 3 days later when he got the world record of 36 minutes and 15 seconds, as well as making this one of the most popular videos on Nibbles' channel with over 4 million views. After Chocolate Flame, the group who made the Possible Obby created a new obby called the Possible Obby, and you already know Nibbles had to go ahead and beat it. Although its name was the Possible Obby, it didn't mean it was easy. As people were waiting for Nibbles to complete it, no one had expected how he would do it. Mr. Nibbles had done it without dying a single time. This obby was easier than the Impossible Obby, but to beat it with 0 deaths in this fashion is absolutely incredible. On January 25th, 2020, Mr. Nibbles posted the completion of the obby Snacks, stating that Khan 2005 introduced him to obbies like this, which are called Tiered Obbies. Due to this completion garnering over 80,000 views, many obbies who wanted to become better joined the Tiered Obby community. This grew the community exponentially, and a lot of big names in the community nowadays came from Mr. Nibbles. And in December of 2020, Mr. Nibbles beat his last obby and never came back to obbying again. So where did Mr. Nibbles go, and what happened to him? Well, the last time he posted anything whatsoever was in September of 2023, which was a popular Roblox game Doors completion. From looking at Mr. Nibbles' content in the past 2 to 3 years, he has switched from obbying to Doors speedrunning, from which he got over 8 million views on a single Doors speedrun. So it would be completely realistic to say that Nibbles just got bored of obbying, just like he did with Geometry Dash at the start of his YouTube channel. Another reason could be frustration in obbying and not being able to beat harder obbies, like this Discord message saying that he couldn't beat an obby called Site 0 and raged. A community post that Mr. Nibbles posted nearing his last few obbies said that he had been lazy and didn't have any motivation to make content. Nowadays, we can go back and remember how it was seeing Mr. Nibbles, a guy with a 2013 Roblox avatar that gave nostalgia to many, beat one of the hardest obbies on Roblox and assert his name in the history of obbying.